What is going on, YouTube? Northeast Ohio Sports Cards here for some more news because it is the train that never stops. So we had the PSA news about 36 hours ago, and now we have SGC news. Before we get into it, like, comment, sub, YouTube stuff down below. Yeah, so SGC has tripled their prices. They went from $25 a card to $75 a card. Peter gets into it on their website. You can look at it here. Essentially, what they're saying is, hey, we're not going to be able to meet current demand at current prices, and we have to raise to $75 a card to slow things down, like PSA has tried to do in the past. Now, they do state SGC will be lowering our prices as soon as we feel we can effectively meet the demand. Until then, we will continue to grow this amazing team, yada, yada, yada. So here we are. I had a feeling something like this was going to happen. I did not think it was going to happen this fast. PSA turning off the faucet had major ramifications throughout the grading industry, and I think this is just the first domino to fall. I'm going to do a long form video tomorrow that gets into the whole state of the grading process right now and where we are, what to do, the fallout, all that stuff. This is just going to be a quick little quick take video. So clearly they realized they had to do something. I am guessing in the last 36 hours, they saw, and maybe it was slowly trending this way anyways. I know plenty of people that were submitting. Step Back Sports Cards submits and is beginning cards back in 2 weeks on the regular. I am guessing they looked at their traffic the last 36 hours and went, uh-oh. And to be fair to them, listen, at $75 a card, they're not viable to submit to. I don't think so. At least for Ultra Modern Basketball, not viable. That is way too expensive. And the resale price on SGC slabs is not there to justify that price. But to be fair to them, they reacted immediately. The biggest thing I criticized them for last year was not doing anything and just taking cards and not communicating a thing to us, not changing anything, not slowing things down, whatever. I was extremely critical of them for that. So I will give them props for getting out in front of this, if you will. They read the writing on the wall. They had to read the writing on the wall the last 36 hours and realize we're screwed unless we do something right now. And they took action. Whether you think it's good action or bad action is an entirely different story. But at $75 a card, I don't believe they're viable. The only other thing they really could have done is go to an HGA model where, you limit submissions per week, whether that's through a lottery system or whatever. But that has its own other hoist of complications, which I will get into more in tomorrow's video. The quick take on that is, you thought the queue system with HGA was bad before, prior to all the news this week. Wait until you see what it looks like now, and good luck getting through. $75 a card. I believe it makes them completely not viable as a grader right now. Just because of the resale price, at least for most ultra modern NBA. But I understand why they're doing it. They need to catch back up, or they need to reestablish. I don't know what they need to do, but clearly they got enough orders in 36 hours to cause them problems. And for those that think CSG is going to save the world, I have to imagine they're next. If you don't think that, if they're not next to either raise prices, put a cap in, or do something, then they are SGC from last year. They will be SGC 2.0 if CSG does nothing, because they are going to get annihilated with orders. And then everyone's going to get pissed at them like they got pissed at SGC last year, and that crushed SGC. The other thing here is, SGC spent the last 9 months scaling up and preparing to quote unquote reopen their doors to service the hobby. And they did. They got caught up. They were managing an efficient backlog. They were turning cards around quick. Cool. I'm not still a big fan of their slabs. I'm not big of a fan of trying to sell their slabs. But if you like them, they were doing what they set out to do. They raised their prices a little bit to $25. That turned some people off. And this is a company that spent the last year scaling up. So you can't come at them with the, oh my God, what the hell have you guys been doing? Hire more people, expand. That's exactly what they've been doing. And I think they were doing fine under the current world we were living in. Then 36 hours ago, PSA cuts off everybody, and no one is ready for that. SGC is not, BGS isn't, CSG is not, HGA sure isn't. The demand that they were currently expecting has now gone to a completely different level. So it is what it is. In my opinion, right now, you're not sending cards to SGC to grade, not at $75 a card. And if you don't think the CSG update is coming, I got some beachfront property to sell you in Ohio. We'll see. We will see what happens. Like I said, I will do a deeper dive on this, but that's the news. SGC up to $75 a card now. And, interesting timing with Prism coming out right now. I don't know what you're supposed to do right now if you want to grade cards. The whole, I made a comment in a video a few weeks ago about if you're just starting out, in the past, your way to start out would be to buy raw and send in the grade and then flip the graded. That is 100% not viable anymore. That is off the menu. Sold out. Gone. Done. So you got to think of the next thing. And there's going to be a segment of the hobby that's doom and gloom saying this is it. It's over. Because card grading is an absolute disaster right now, which it is. But here's the thing. There's still going to be money to be made. You're just going to have to change the way that you did it. If your primary business before was buying raw, grading, and then flipping, figure out your next thing. Adapt or die. Whatever it is that you might do. I view I'm lumping all the companies in together. I am viewing this all as temporary inconvenience for permanent improvement. And I really think what is going to happen is all these other companies are going to get destroyed with backlogs. PSA is going to be catching up, not accepting any cards. And in 6 months, whatever it is, when PSA starts to open submissions back up again, they're going to look like the saviors again, and everyone's going to flood right back to them. Because SGC is going to have increased prices. HGA is still not going to be able to accept enough cards. CSG is either going to raise prices or put a cap in or fall drastically behind. And HGA still has the cap. And BGS is still, I don't know what the hell BGS is doing. Nobody knows what BGS is doing. They're still just out there, I don't know, puddling around, just whatever, lost in the woods. Imagine a world where BGS shut down like PSA did 6 months ago and are ready to open up and handle a massive influx of cards right now. They could immediately have vaulted themselves back up to 1A with PSA. But they've done nothing to fix their problems over the last 6 months. So, yeah, that's the news. SGC, $75 a card now. Guess what? Copy and paste this statement, change the lettering to neon green, and put a CSG logo at the top. It's probably coming. People were saying in the SCI Discord that they were trying to do submissions to CSG yesterday, and the site was very sluggish. HGA submission slots open up tonight for their 5,000 cards this week, 2,500 tonight, 2,500 tomorrow. How do you think that's going to go? Can I get odds in a Vegas book for how quickly the site crashes? Is that something I can bet on? Can I get an over under on that? All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Like, comment, sub. You guys know the drill. And tomorrow morning, I will do a more in-depth piece, kind of going a little bit deeper over some of the points that I just briefly touched on in this. So catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.